Project is a strange but cool game, kind of living on the barrier between intrigue, espionage, science fiction, and post-apocalyptic ideas. The game is set some decades, perhaps hundreds of years, no one's entirely sure, after an event called the Mindquake, in which a gigantic wave of psychic energy washed over the Earth, killed billions of people, and fractured reality. In the chaos that followed, further billions died. And after that, humanity had to kind of pull itself back from the brink. However, it's returned stronger and weirder than ever, with great advances in technology, a reduced population making life more livable on our planet, and yet having to deal with these strange incursions from other worlds. And that's where Project comes in. Project is a semi-private international organization of sort of psychic and high-tech superpowered mercenaries. They deal with the incursions into this reality, but there's more behind the project, the company, than necessarily first appears to be so. You should play this game because it uses the D6 system, which is flexible, great for new people, and easily graspable and tactile. Get a nice big handful of dice and roll them, that always feels good. And because the setup for the game is perfect for pick-up games or for an organised way of running a game. Since your players will all be playing a squad of project operatives, it's easy to give them plot hooks. This is your mission, go and deal with it. But there's also plenty of scope for them to investigate themselves and find out that there's more going on at project than first appears. And then maybe they might decide to do something about it, or maybe they'll decide to go along with it. It all depends on your personal spin. There's a variety of different character types, all with their own powers and abilities, and all with their own quirks. The cyborg, or Borg, is a sort of cybernetic assassin, so rather than being a full-on combat attack creature, cyborgs in this are a bit more delicate. Their precise movements, their precision engineering allow them to be incredibly stealthy. Golems are gigantic, rebuilt, childlike mini hulks. They can stand up to almost any damage. They can tear down and break just about anything with their bare hands. But they have the mentality of a child and are prone to tantrums if they don't get their binky, especially programmed sort of thing upon which they fixate their emotions and which allows them to be calmer and more controlled. There are psychics and empaths who have cloned brain tissue implanted into them to give them access to psychic abilities, tapping into the after echoes of the Mindquake and channeling them into things like telepathy, telekinetic blasts, pyrokinesis, and all that kind of jazz. There are grunts, who are basically humans with a high baseline psychic potential but unable to tap into it. With their implants, they're able to channel that innate psychic background radiation into weapons and unleash it against creatures from beyond. Witches are able to control and manipulate the background psychic radiation themselves and to summon things from beyond to serve them rather than to harm them, though occasionally that can go a bit wrong. Medusae are artificially intelligent robots designed to be reliable backup to the rest of the team, but when you first open them and set them out to work, they're mostly blank slates, and they have to acquire their personality and quirks as you go along. New ideas, new kinds of character will be introduced later on, and we're already producing supplements to expand on the material for the existing character types and to expand on the background a bit. All in all, Project is a great game for conventions or for campaign play, for pickup play. It's got strong plot hooks, it's got an interesting background that's darker than it first appears, and I heartily recommend that you all buy it immediately. You can keep up with what I'm doing at postmortemstudios.wordpress.com, which also has links to everywhere that I sell my products. You can also keep up with me on Twitter at Grimachew, and if you would care to support my work, you can support me at Patreon, again at Grimachew. Anything you give there will be used to better future further projects.